correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like there's a strong network effect here, where the more people within an organization or within an ecosystem that are using this, the more valuable it is. If that supplier had not been on the communication server, that would have caused a whole glitch in that communication stream that was happening. If, you know, that meeting room, that conference room where the folks were having the meeting, you know, if those folks hadn't had roundtable, yeah, that would have put a glitch in the whole situation. So because of that network effect, what are you doing to try to promote that once an organization starts to roll out your technology?
It's a great point. So, you know, if you look at tools today, they operate in the least common denominator mode. You know, if you've got 5 people, then be in a conference, it's going to be an audio conference because that's what they do. In our model, it's actually the opposite. Everybody who has the advanced tools, they will be able to participate with higher fidelity, but you could have somebody just call in with a regular phone and be participating and just hearing the audio modality and not the other modalities. So what we've built is quite the inverted model where we give you the best experience possible for as many users who have the right capabilities, and we still allow you to connect into the old world at the lower fidelity.
Okay. So if the person who you're contacting is in your Outlook contacts, but they're not on Office Communications, it doesn't matter because their Office phone is in there, the system dials out to them, and they're a part of it just
exactly right.
Okay.
And I can, in the same way he dragged and dropped a person into a conference call, I can go ahead and type in a phone number, and they can be in the conference call too. So it's a very, our model, and as you point out, you know, if we didn't do that, we would be, you know, be sucked back from a network effect standpoint, and now we're actually sucking forward. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. But with the video conferencing, does that still hold true? Is there a certain point where there's a certain degree of advanced functionality where, yes, everybody needs to be using that in order to participate?
You could have a video conference call going on, and somebody could be there just with audio. Now, only they do not get the benefit of seeing the video, but everybody else is able to see everybody else who's on video. Okay. And we even have things like when the person on the phone is talking, in the roster you will see that they are talking. Of course you can't see the video, but at least the roster will show you that they are the ones talking. So, which is a big benefit. You know, in audio conference calls where there's more than 4 or 5 people, and if you haven't really worked closely with them, you don't know who's talking even. And now those experiences actually get better.
So Cisco and HP are both working on really high cost, high fidelity video conferencing options. And somebody who's followed the industry for a while, looking at that, strikes me, boy, certain companies will adopt that for certain high level meetings, but it sure is going to be difficult for Joe, office worker, you know, to justify that. You know, that conference room is going to be booked all the time. What if you're on the road, et cetera, et cetera. Can you talk about what this enables and the opportunity there versus what you see some other folks in the IT community doing around video conferencing? Because what you've just said, you know, about being able to work with the least common denominator is really totally different from the direction they're going in.
Absolutely. It's you know, if you look at video conferencing systems today, and if you try to figure out why didn't they get used, you know, there's several factors there. One is you had to book a video conference, and you had to find a room which had a video conferencing gear. You know, so you've already lost a bunch of people who will never do that. Or then you get into that conference room, and here's this completely one-off system that you don't know how to operate. The most frequently called number in this thing is calling for assistance on how to get into a video conference. And then you have you know, how the system actually needs to be implemented from an infrastructure perspective. You know, there used to be these ISDN lines, and now we're saying we need to have these specialized networks and specialized rooms, etc. We believe this is a functionality which is we used a very, very narrow set of things. The price point just completely makes it absolutely inaccessible technology from a broad adoption perspective. Now, contrast that to this device, $3,000.
Now, would you say that these other, I mean, as it seems to me, would you say that these other scenarios that the Ciscos and HPs of the world are rolling out are still under that model?
I believe it is completely under that model. I love the fact the video definition. I love that the fact it's high definition video. I love the audio quality and all those things. It's wonderful. But all these other problems about having to book a room, having to operate a gear which looks completely different than anything else that you use. You know, one of the biggest things which we believe software enables you to do is we've trained people how to click and right click and drag and drop. The moment you can tie more and more power into those models, you will get people to learn, adopt, self-train. You know, that's how 1 billion people have learned how to get on the internet in 10 years. It wasn't because of a lot of training. The same 1 billion people probably can't do conference calling today, or definitely not a video conference call. And so we believe this is where the power is, and this is where we're going to use, this is the portal we're going to use to enable people to get a lot more productive with all these new tools. We also believe that thanks to Moore's law, the ability to do high definition video is increasingly coming to the standard PC. And you know, one of the things we demonstrate with this device is actually VGA capability. You can get, for the active speaker, you can get actually VGA resolution, which is actually very good when you look on the screen. And you don't need a special network for it, because in 400 kilobits per second, we can actually do very good VGA based communication. In fact, we let you go full screen and you're just in a completely immersive scenario. And so VGA is 640 by 480. You know, the next step is perhaps a 720i or 720p, and the next step is 1080p.